Sir, please give me controls.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, sir.
So today we will discuss about MARPOL Annex 4, that is Regulation for Prevention of Pollution by Sewage from Ships. I think still more people are joining, then we will wait for 2 more minutes and then we will start. Okay, we'll start now. So Annex 4 is Regulation of Prevention of Pollution by Sewage. It came into picture in 27 September 2003. Now, why sewage is the problem? Why they came up with such a regulation? What is gonna happen if you are disposing your sewage into the sea? Anyone?
Marine pollution.
How? But how? So, in how many way we can decompose the sewage? You must have heard the term.
Two ways, I think.
Yes, and what are those? Aerobic and anaerobic. So aerobic means in the presence of oxygen when we are decomposing the sewage, and anaerobic means when there is no oxygen. So when we dispose this particular into sewage into the sea, so what happens? Because there is oxygen in the atmosphere and in the water also, so they consume the oxygen. So species which are lying in this particular area, will get badly affected because they will not get oxygen. So they will create a area of oxygen depletion zone. And additionally, floating floating sewage nobody want to see on the surface of water, right? So sewage is a problem because the discharge of raw sewage into the sea can create health hazard. Sewage can also lead to oxygen depletion and can be an obvious visual pollution. So especially for the country where they are based on tourists, like they are known for their beaches and all. Obviously, this is visual pollution is going to be the major issue. Now, what is the definition of sewage? Drainage and other waste water from any form of toilet and urinal. So, in this case, all the common spaces and all the rooms, toilet and urinal, drain is known as sewage. What about your wash basin? And bathing area?
Sewage.
Equal to holding
Grey
tank,
water.
grey water.
So, whatever is coming from our wash basin and bathing area, those drain is known as grey water. Okay. Then what about your medical premises? From your medical premises like hospital, we have hospital on board, right? Any drain from the hospital will be treated as sewage, irrespective it is coming from wash basin or bathtub or bathing area. Everything is will treat as a sewage. Drainage from space of living animal, that will be also known as sewage. Other waste when they mix with sewage will be treated as right. If we will mix anything as with sewage, it will be treated as, if you are mixing your grey water with the sewage, then how you will treat that particular thing?
Sewage, sir.
Sewage. Other wastewater when mixed with the drainage is mentioned in the first side. So if any of the waste is mixed with this thing, will be treated as sewage. Now what is the holding tank? A tank used for collection and storage of sewage is known as holding tank. And what is international voyage? A voyage from a country to which the Marble Convention applies to a port outside such country, or vice versa. This definition we already seen, the drainage and other waste from any form of toilet and urinals, drainage from the medical premises, and drainage from the living animals, and other waste when mixed with the drainage as above. This regulation came into force in 27 September 2003. This NS focus on preventing the sewage pollution from the ships, and this has 7 chapter and 18 regulation. Who gives right to PSC? Who gives right to PSC to inspect your vessel under this annex where it is written? Surveyor asks this question, who give right to PSC? We are going to see in different annex who gives right to PSC. Regulation number 14 of annex, Marpol annex 4 gives right to PSC to inspect your vessel. Can you see regulation number 14? Chapter 5, regulation number 14 is port state control. Regulation 14, port state control on operational requirements. So the next is this annex applicable to what all ships. So the provision of this annex shall apply to the following ship engaged in the international voyage. New ships of 400 gross tonnage and above, if you are on a new ship, and if it is more than 400 GT, you have to follow this annex. So now, what does new ship mean? We already seen when this annex came into force. What was the date?
27 September 2003.
2003. So the ship built after this date is known as new ship, and before this date is known as old ship. New ship, if you are a new ship, it is less than 400, but it is certified to carry 15% on board, then also you have to follow this particular annex. So now, what is the regulation for existing ship? Existing ship of 400 gross tonnage and above, 5 years after a date of entry. So means after 2008, existing ship, if it is more than 400 GT, has to follow this annex. Again, existing ship, if it is less than 400 GT, but certified to carry more than 15%, and after the 5 year, that is 2008, existing ship has to follow this particular annex. Understood? So now, if we are going to see broadly, so all the ship which are more than 400 GT or which can carry 15% on board, more than 15% on board, they has to comply with Marpol Annex 4. Any doubt, guys, till now?
Sir, it was slide number 4 or 5 दिखा दीजिए. Slides और ले लो.
Okay. I can. Because your voice is coming very low. I cannot hear.
Now, sir, slide 5, sir.
Okay, this is a slide number 5. Guys, any doubt till now? What is the name of certificate under this annex? Anyone? Even in the short form, if someone can tell?
Approved STP or
Okay. apart from this. So name of the certificate is ISPPC, that is International Sewage Pollution Prevention Certificate. And how many surveys under this annex? Initial, renewal, and initial renewal and one more is there, right? Additional. Initial, renewal, and additional. These are the certificate under this annex. Sorry, survey under this annex. So when we carry out additional,
when repair or something is happened or modification.
whenever you are carrying out any work on your STP, which is not given in your manual. That is apart from routine maintenance, if you are carrying out any other job, you have to go for additional survey. So what all are the special area?
Baltic Sea, Black Sea, Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, Antarctica.
This is Annex 4. How many special area in Annex 4?
Baltic Sea is main.
Only one sir. Only one sir.
Baltic Sea is
Baltic Sea. Everyone agrees? Baltic Sea in the special area.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I will not say you are wrong, but you are partially correct. And we cannot be partially correct in front of surveyor. So Baltic Sea is the special area, but
passenger
only
vessel.
for
Passenger vessel.
passenger vessel. So whenever surveyor will ask you what is the special area, you are going to say full rather than telling only Baltic Sea. Because Baltic Sea is a special area only for the passenger vessel. When you are going to tell in this way, surveyor will get to know you have read the annex, right? Otherwise, what surveyor will understand that you have only checked what all are the special area, but you don't know it is special area for what. Understood? Anybody can search on the Google that what is the special area under Annex 4, it will come like Baltic Sea. But when you go deep down into the annex, then only you will get to know that it is special area only for the passenger vessel. Understood?
Sir, one doubt. Special area is for all annex or only 1, 4, and 6.
Special area is for all annex.
Sir, you told for STP only special area is Baltic Sea.
Yes.
Some annex only we have 7, sir. That nearby 10 Antarctica and Baltic Sea, Black Sea.
How many annex we have?
6.
6. Then go ahead. But you
then second and third, what is that special? Any special area or
in annex number 2 and 3?
what is the special area, sir?
Too far also yesterday you told sir only Baltic Sea.
Yesterday, no. In annex number
2.
2 and 3.
Antarctic.
Antarctic, sorry.
Antarctic.
Yeah. Only Antarctic, sir.
In
And
annex
one
3, when we'll do annex 2, then we will discuss this one. What is the special area in annex 3?
And one have so many, no, sir? So 7, 8, sorry, approximately 10. Red Sea.
Yes, one have a long list. So we are going to see when we are going to do that particular annex. Okay, then the next is We have discussed already special area, and it came into force in it came into force in
1st January 2013.
2013. So these are the discharge connection standard. Sometimes surveyor asks the discharge connection standard. If you want to write it down, you can write it down, or you can take screenshot.
Sir, do we have to specify Baltic Sea only for passenger vessels?
Yes, you have to specify. If you are saying a Baltic Sea, then it's a very vague answer because it doesn't apply for all ships, right?
Yes, sir.
So, and we are going to see in the coming slides how they are, how and where they are written. That it is a special area only for the vessel. We are going to see that in the coming slide.
Okay, sir.
So these are the discharge connection standard. Nothing much to explain in this. If you want to write, you can write it down. Sometimes whereas not always, but sometimes here and there they ask what are the discharge connection standard for NX2. You must have seen that discharge connection on the main deck, right?
Yes, sir.
So OD should be
210.
210. ID as per OD. Bolt is 170 mm. Slot 4, 18 mm. Thickness of flange is 16 mm, and bolt and nut is 4 into 16 mm. So in this particular annex, we have three type of system. The first one is STP. So how STP, if you have STP on board, can you discharge your sewage anywhere?
Yes, sir. Approved STP, we can discharge as per local regulation.
Yes, very good. If there is no local regulation, then you can discharge through your STP, which should be approved by admin anywhere, irrespective whether you are in port or you are on anchor. It doesn't matter, but there should not be any local regulation. Only that is the criteria when you have approved STP. Now, what is approved STP? What are the standard you should meet so that you can have a approved STP plant on board? There should be some standard, right?
Soil effect, current, flow depth.
Come again.
Soil effect, depth, flow. These are
Where you read this?
before on time. On notes is there, so that's saying.
Okay, doesn't matter.
The effluent should come, the one which is coming outside from the STP should have a chlorine content of 0.5
Yes.
per
Then
liter. And
then we
no,
will see BOD.
BOD,
Biological
yes, sir. BOD.
oxygen demand. Then we will talk about COD
COD, chemical oxygen demand, yes.
and thermotolerant coliform, that is E. coli.
COD.
We are going to see that what is the value for all this, and we are also going to check it should not create visible
Floating substances, something like that.
and pH of your sample should be in the range. And we will see that in the coming slide. But now we will talk about the second system. When you have approved comminution and disinfection, what do you understand by comminution and disinfection?
Breaking down of the sewage into that helps anaerobic decomposition. Sorry, aerobic decomposition. And the disinfection means the final outlet should be free from bacteria. That it means chlorinated.
So basically, when we say comminution and disinfection, comminution means we are only dividing this sewage into the small parts. Okay, it might be possible some churning pump is there. It's like a pump which can divide the sewage into the small parts. And we are not treating this sewage. We are only dividing this sewage into the small parts so that there cannot be any visual floating sewage, right? When you divide it into the small part, it looks like soil then.
That is called the macerator, no, sir? Macerator.
Yes. So we will divide this sewage into the. Anybody worked on such a plant? Okay. Then we only pass through it is a sterilization chamber, and then we dispose it off. So we are not treating, we are only dividing it into the small part and sterilizing it and disposing at the sea. So we are going to see when we are doing this thing. This system is clear now. Now you know what is comminution and disinfection, right? Everyone understood the system, comminution and disinfection?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are going to see what we will do when we are having such a system on board instead of sewage treatment plant. So what we should do, we are going to see that. And the last is holding tank. When you have a sewage holding tank on board, how you are going to dispose your sewage when you have your sewage into your holding tank. So these are the three systems which we will talk about now. So these are the value for getting approval from your administration. You should meet certain criteria. Then only your admin will give you certificate of approval, right? So these are the criteria. BOD should be less than 25 mg per liter. COD should be less than 125 mg per liter. Tolerant coliform count 100 coliform per 100 ml of sample. And total suspended solids 35 mg per liter. And pH should be 6 to 8.5. Intentionally, I have missed the one. Can anyone guess? One is not there in the slide, and you normally do that test on board. Chlorine. And what should be the value?
0.5.
0.5 mg per liter. Guys, these values are the correct value. I know somewhere in some notes and everything, it might be possible some other values are written, but I have taken these manual from this value from a manual, from my ship manual, and my ship STP plant was approved plant. I will show you for your reference that where it is written in the manual, so that you can trust these values.
Sir, on board, basically, we conduct the chlorine content and the pH, no, and suspended solid.
On board, what I have seen over the year, we are only doing chlorine test, not even pH. Nobody is doing pH, and nobody is doing the other one. What you said, the total suspended solid. Onward, we do only chlorine test, but sometimes we land sample assure, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you repeat the chlorine test value?
I'm opening that PDF. Just give me a moment.
Sure, sir.
Because when I will show you the PDF, you will be able to trust this value, because every note some other value is written, right? So it's very difficult to trust which value are right and which are wrong. So can you see the PDF on your screen?
Yes, sir.
All the values are written. Number 1, BOD is maximum 25, COD maximum 125, suspended solid maximum 35, coliform 100 mg 100 per milligram, 100 coliform per milligram, sorry, per 100 milliliter, and disinfection residual means chlorine, your residual chlorine 0.5 milligram per liter, pH 6 to 8.5. I can close the document and go back to slide, or somebody is writing. Okay. So if we are going to meet this criteria, then only our admin will approve our sewage plant. Otherwise, he will not give us the type approval. The next is when you have comminution and disinfection. So we have already discussed about the sewage, where we can discharge and where we cannot, right? If we can discharge everywhere, if we are having approved sewage treatment plant, but provided there should not be any local regulation. There is no other regulation for sewage plant apart from this. But if you have the comminution and disinfection system, then you can discharge only more than, when you are at a distance more than 3 nautical mile from the nearest land. Understood till now? I can go ahead. Don't keep any doubt in your mind. Any doubts is welcome. You can ask anything, or if you want me to repeat anything, I will repeat anything. Silence, I will take it. Nobody is having any doubt. So what is the regulation when you are having holding tank on board and you are keeping the sewage in the holding tank?
The discharge criteria should be different. Like ship should en route and speed should be 4 knots. It should be away 12 nautical mile away from the land.
And when very important is the
Discharge rate.
discharge rate. One more. Moderate discharge. What
Not be
does moderate?
Moderate rate of discharge.
What does moderate discharge means?
Not instantaneous. It should be like as per that discharge rate we have to, and quantity
And why
of,
we cannot do instantaneously? Why we cannot do?
because it has to mix up with the water. Otherwise, only in a particular area it will.
Yes, very good. We cannot do instantaneously because again, if in our holding tank, it might be possible we have raw sewage, right? And in that case, if you are going to discharge everything in a single location, in that particular area, oxygen depletion will take place and your species will get badly affected. That's why we cannot do instantaneously. So now we are going to see how they have written this particular thing in your
Excuse me?
marble. Yes, go ahead.
Holding tank means if we don't have this sewage treatment plant, without after the treatment we put holding tank.
There can be two cases that you don't have sewage treatment plant. That is also possible, but sometime even if you have the sewage treatment plant, you have the holding tank because of some local regulation you cannot discharge your sewage overboard, so you have to keep your sewage in the holding tank. Now what is your question?
I want to know, sir, without this holding tank means in last slide you told us, sir, from holding tank to this criteria. So this is
Yes.
a treated sewage or without treated sewage? That's all.
So because to our holding tank, I think the arrangement is given in such a manner you can put treated as well as untreated sewage into the holding tank, right?
Yes, sir.
I think this is the pipeline diagram on most of the ship where you can put both the sewage, irrespective whether it is treated or not treated. You can put into the sewage holding tank, and you can put your treated sewage also into the holding tank, right?
Yes, sir.
So since we can put raw sewage also in the holding tank, so we discharge this particular sewage as a raw sewage. Why? Even if you put the treated sewage, we treat this sewage as a raw sewage. Why? Because when some external authority is going to come and they will ask you, and you will not able to demonstrate that how you segregated the line. Obviously, you are not locking the line like we are doing in OWS, that we are
OWS.
locking the
Yes, sir.
right. So it is very difficult to explain to the external authority. So normally we treat this sewage as a sorry, we treat this sewage as a raw sewage. Understood now?
Yes, sir. But always be matlab, first be treat.
Because
then
there is
holding.
direct. Always what we do, you are saying is right, but we discharge this sewage as a raw sewage because direct line is there. Maybe some external authority says, how can you say nothing came from there? Then what you are going to explain?
Okay.
So it's very difficult to explain then. Okay. So in this manner, they have written in your MARPOL regulation number 15, the discharge of sewage from the ship other than passenger ship. So basically, now we get to know that from other ship we can do in all area. You can see the discharge of sewage from the ships other than passenger ships in all area. So what does it mean? There is that cargo ship can discharge in all area, and the discharge of sewage from the passenger ship outside special area. So after reading first line, what we'll get to know? That there is only special area for
Passenger ship.
passenger ship. So that's what make the difference between you guys and other guys answer when surveyor asks what is the special area for MARPOL Annex 4, because even if some people read the Annex 4, they read only this much, right? What is the criteria for distance, speed, and everything, but they forgot to read the first line because everyone knows it's only written that inside special area and outside special area, right? So whenever you are telling about annex area, please tell in that manner only that we have special area only for the passenger ship. So now what this regulation is saying, the ship is discharging comminuted and disinfected sewage using a approved system by the administration in accordance with regulation so and so at a distance 3 nautical mile from the nearest land. So if you are using a system, that was our case 2, right? Comminuted and disinfected. That was case 2, right? And what about the sewage which is not comminuted and disinfected?
Distance from shore is 12 nautical mile.
Yes, very good. Then we can discharge the sewage at more than 12 nautical mile from the nearest land. And in case it has been stored into the holding tank, so this is case 3, right? Or sewage originating from the space containing living animal shall not discharge instantaneously. We already discussed why we cannot discharge instantaneously, but at a moderate rate when the ship is en route. What is en route? What is en route?
Ship speed or
Guys, what is en route? We have discussed this word many times now.
Ship is going to the
ship is going on the way or at speed, sir.
Please don't tell this definition of en route. We have to remember only two definition in Marple annex. Sorry, in whole Marple, the only two definition are important. You should remember in the correct manner. All other thing you can tell in your way. One definition is en route, and what about the other one? Okay, first of all, we'll see what is. Other one is spatial area. So going to see first what is en route. En route means ship is underway at a sea on a course or courses, including deviation from the shortest direct route. So you can include the deviation from the shortest direct route, which is as far as practicable for navigation purpose. Only this much you have to remember. En route means the ship is underway at a sea on a course or courses, including a shortest direct route, which is as far as practicable for navigational purpose. Understood? Or you want me to you want me to elaborate more? Guys, silence, I'll take it as you all understood. Okay. So we were here that is seaway originating from the space containing living animal shall not discharge instantaneously but at moderate rate when ship is en route and proceeding at not less than 4 nautical miles, sorry, 4 knots. And the rate of discharge shall be approved by admin. So we are going to say what is we are going to see in the coming slide what is rate of discharge. So should be approved by the admin. And in the point number 2, the ship has in operation approved sewage treatment plant. So this is our case 1, right? We have discussed case 1, that is STP. The ship has in operation approved sewage treatment plant which has been certified by admin to meet the operational requirement referred to regulation 9.1.1 of this annex, and the effluent shall not produce visible floating solid nor cause discoloration of surrounding water. You can go ahead.
Sir,
Yes.
if you're having STP plant on board, is it possible for instantaneous discharge?
Yes, we are doing import, right?
Yeah, okay, sir.
So in short, this is written the sewage, if you have commuted disinfection system approved by admin, you can discharge at more than 12 nautical mile. If you don't have comminution and disinfection, then more than 12 nautical mile. If you have a sewage holding tank, then you have to meet moderate rate and route and proceed at 4 knot, and you have to meet the maximum discharge rate criteria. The ship has in operation approved sewage treatment plant which has been certified and whose test result is laid down in ISPPC certificate and whose effluent does not produce visible floating solid and no discoloration of water. For easy remember, you can read from this one also. So now we are going to see what is maximum discharge rate. So this formula is given by them. The formula is 0.00926 VDB, where V is V is ship speed in knot, average speed, draft is D, and B is variable. So by looking at this particular formula, we can see that dr is discharge rate. Your discharge rate is directly proportional to ship speed, right? If you are going to increase the vessel speed, your discharge rate you can increase, right? Guys, at least respond yes or no so that I can know my mic is working.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then the other one is D. So draft is also variable. If you are going to increase your draft, you can increase your discharge rate.
Yes, sir.
Only B is a quantity which we cannot change, right? Breadth of the ship. It will remain same. So by varying these two value, if we are going to increase, our discharge rate is going to increase. If we are going to decrease speed, then our discharge rate will also we have to reduce. Understood? So you must have seen this table pasted near your sewage treatment plant from the yard delivery only. You have come across this table?
Sir, the first one, 1/2 lakh. What do you mean by that?
Where the 1/2?
1/2 lakh. First,
Don't worry about that. This is important.
Okay.
So you must have seen this table in your this thing near the sewage holding tank. You have seen this table?
Yes, sir.
So from what about others? This table was there or not? Because I will discuss both the cases in that case. Or if everyone was having table, then I will discuss this one.
No, sir.
Okay, then I'll discuss one. So you can see when your ship speed is 4 knot and draft was 5, how much you can discharge?
4.63.
4.63. Now keep the speed constant and increase the draft to 8. How much you can discharge per hour? 7.41 meter cube per hour. Now keep the drafts in at 8. Now increase the speed to 8 knots. How much you can discharge? 14.82 meter cube per hour. So that's why they have given this table for our easy reference that if our ship speed is 4 knot and we are at the draft 5, we should meet the criteria. Understood? Why this table is given?
Sir, this table also given by ship, na sir? Because bit of ship is changed.
Yes, obviously. That's why they kept the B in the formula. Otherwise, they can multiply easily into 0.00926, right?
Okay.
Because one ship and other ship breadth can be different, but for a particular ship, it will remain same. Okay. So that's why this table is given so that we can comply with our discharge rate. On some ships, this table is not there. So now take a value. Now suppose we why this table is not calculated from 3 knots? Anyone? Why they are starting only from the 4 knots?
Minimum speed 4 knots, sir.
Because in this regulation is written you should be more than 4 knots, right? So now suppose your ship speed is 4 and your lightest summer draft which you need for your propeller emulsion is 5. We cannot have propeller out of water, right? We need some minimum draft. Suppose this is 5. So now your discharge rate is coming is 4.6. So on some ships it might be possible they have put a pump of discharge rate. Maximum pump has some capacity, right?
Yes, sir.
So they have put the pump of 4.5 meter cube per hour. So now you see, irrespective what is your draft and speed? You are going to meet the regulation at any point of time, right? Because you cannot pump out what is minimum required, right? Now only suppose now speed draft is increasing to 8. Now you can discharge 7.8, but your pump will deliver only 4.5. You are going to meet the criteria, right? You are pumping less, you are not pumping more. So on some ship, they have this kind of system. Both the system are clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the third case is when you do not have sewage holding tank. Anybody in the class, they were not having sewage holding tank? It might be possible. I think you must have, everyone has heard that after peak tank they are putting the sewage, right?
Yes, sir.
So what,
Sometimes
how, yes, go ahead, please.
Sometimes your holding tank is full and you are not able to discharge in ports due to local regulation. Then we had put to.
Okay, then in that case, how you are when you are discharging your sewage after departure from the port, then how you meet this regulation criteria? How you meet the discharge rate criteria? Any idea? Okay, this is the question for tomorrow. That in case you are putting your sewage in other tank, except from your sewage holding tank, because here it might be possible this table is given or pump is designed in such way. What about if you put sewage in the off-peak tank? How you meet the regulation criteria? This is the question for tomorrow. It is good if you guys will come with the answer. Otherwise, I'll explain. Okay, guys, that's all for today. See you tomorrow.
Slide 19 or 20 का screenshot लेना.
Okay, give me a moment. Okay,
Yes.
and this is 20.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay, see you tomorrow, guys.
Thank you, sir.